There has always been something strange about Bradley Lehmann.
I didn't trust anyone, I was still delusional.
Something highly concerning.
Anytime I closed my eyes, I'd see like really dark things, like really shadowy, haunting, scary figures.
That was from a 2022 video of Bradley, celebrating his improved mental health. Little did anyone know how bad things would get.
Look at me! Tell me! Tell me!
That audio, known online as The Incident, was released in 2025. Bradley Lehmann, going online as BradTaste Music, runs a music review channel. At his peak, he was earning $20,000 to $30,000 a month. In 2023, he shared this screenshot that showed he earned 313,000 tips from viewers alone. On the surface, he was a happy-go-lucky guy with some internal struggles. The most controversial he was, prior to 2024, was when he argued with the artists of the music he reviewed. However, the videos he has attempted to hide and his ex-partner, who he has attempted to scare into silence, tell a far different, grim story. This is BradTaste's descent into madness. As such, this video will start from the beginning. On March 7, 2017, a 16-year-old Bradley Lehmann uploaded his first video as BradTaste Music, a nonsensical 26-second long piece parodying rapper Eminem.
Hi, my name is Eminem. Your girl wanted Eminem, so I gave her an Eminem.
This video hardly got any traction. The same can be said for his follow-up videos.
Hey, what's up? My name is Bradley, and I've decided that I'm going to make a music review channel, despite the horrific growth for most channels. First of all, I've always loved music since I was like really young. I'm able to kind of form my own opinion on a lot of things, and I feel like I have a lot to say and that I can add to the community quite well. But yeah, I'm really excited.
These were videos of Brad doing two things. Brad reviewing albums, largely a rap and hip-hop artist, and most importantly, Brad reacting to select albums for the first time ever. On average, these were sub-10-minute videos that Bradley, through his editing, made it a point to be playful, erratic, and interesting in his own way. Being that these were largely edited and recorded through his phone, there was only so much he could do, though he did experiment. As 2017 was closing, Brad used his time reviewing and actively listening to music to make videos on the worst songs or best albums of 2017. It was not until February of 2018 that Brad's channel really started to get traction. It begins with a confrontation of sorts, when creator Beyond ARTV gave the 21 Pilots album, Blurryface, a rating of 4.5 out of 5. Bradley, in ARTV's comment section, was not too pleased with the score, which is when ARTV responded to Brad, challenging his own views. Quote, "Why the fuck are you here then? Lol, so did Spectrum Pulse. Why are you here to bash the opinions of other people's taste in music, almighty all-knowing Brad?" Unquote. ARTV later uploaded a video titled 6 Reasons Why People Hate 21 Pilots. Brad on Twitter then connected the dots and believed his comment was responsible for that video and felt that he was largely targeted as a 21 Pilots hater. This, in turn, inspired Brad's own video that would be responsible for providing much-needed traction to grow his channel.
Why am I doing this? Well, if you're unaware with my Twitter, I've gotten into a little bit of heat with Mr. ARTV over here, John from ARTV.
Brad restates his belief that he was responsible for ARTV's video, then provides the context that he never listened to that 21 Pilots album as he was only jumping on the hate bandwagon, which ties into the reason he is making this video.
I do give myself a lot of credit for that. But in this video, he makes a lot of really good points. He asks the viewer to listen to the music without thinking about the fan base, without thinking about all the merch, without thinking about the emo, without thinking about the outfits, and just listen to the music, and that's what I want to do. And I'm not doing this video to make fun of him. No, this is a video of me actually trying.
The majority of this 29-minute video is Brad reacting to the album, giving his personal breakdown of each song afterwards. This is how the video ends.
So I'm gonna give this my score. I'm feeling a
4.5.
out of 10, not out of 5. Get the fuck out of here. 9 out of 10. You can't be with that bullshit. Get this fucking bullshit out of my face, okay? I'm tired.
While Brad's video did get a fair amount of dislikes, the top comments, rather than analyzing or critiquing Brad's own analysis, focus on his reaction. They're clued into the unserious nature of this video and pay more mind into someone experiencing the music they love or hate for the first time. This was Brad's strength, and this is what would grow his channel. And though he started off on the wrong foot with ARTV, the two would eventually patch things up and collaborate here and there. More importantly, Brad was starting to grow. As he likely saw the indications of success, he reacted to more 21 Pilots albums as well as other albums that sat outside the rap or hip-hop genres.
Wait a minute. Huge spike in views, unintelligible 21 Pilots comments, double the dislikes. Something must have happened.
Though Brad was getting a fair amount of hate, as is important for reviewers and creators in general, he was unshaken and remained stalwart in his stances on the music he was reacting to. This commanded respect and likely gave him the confidence to continue with his newly discovered lucrative content.
Hello, well, my name is Bradley. I have a BradTaste in music and My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. I got so many requests, damn.
This was from part 1 of Brad's reaction to The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. The second part concludes that unlike the 21 Pilots album, he truly loved this album, giving it a rating of 9 out of 10. In terms of reaction videos, Brad would never have one that would perform better than his reactions to My Chemical Romance. Though, in fairness, he had yet to discover his most lucrative form of content. For now, reacting to music is what he did for 2019, and what he entered 2020 doing. It was this year that a 20-year-old Brad was seeing continued success on YouTube, but was struggling outside of it.
Hey, it's Bradley. I don't even know what the hell is going on today, man. It's really coming in waves. Before that, I was making music. I was doing okay. I mean, I read the comments, I look, and maybe I'm just looking for some sort of encouragement. I keep repeating that it's just melodramatic in my head all day, and it's not doing anything for me. I just feel like it would be different if I wasn't locked in this fucking house. If I could see people, if I could do something, man, I have to make the best of what I have. And for some reason, like, what I have is just not good enough, even though it's fine.
This comes from an unlisted video titled Feeling Depressed, uploaded March 31st, 2020. It would be one of many videos in where Brad gives his raw feelings at the time of the recording. Only sympathy would slowly dwindle as more and more came out about him through the years. Though at this time, his small community was very supportive of his plight, unaware of what was really going on.
Especially there was a period of a couple of years, or even just a year, in like maybe around 2000 or whatnot, where I was, or not 2000, 2020, where I was very mentally unstable and very unwell. And then I ended up, so I was on weed at the time.
Though marijuana is often regarded as a rather tame substance, it appeared to make Bradley erratic. This is the case for some individuals predisposed to having adverse effects to the substance. Brad's partner at the time, Tina, would corroborate that marijuana did indeed fuel his instability.
It was like August of 2020 to June of 2022. We lived in our first apartment. He broke the bathroom door in that apartment. And while we were living there, most of the time he was on weed. And that's always when he had like more trouble controlling his emotions.
That audio was from an interview of Tina conducted by the channel Purple Perry Gaming. As Tina stated, she and Brad moved in together August of 2020. It was in December of that year that she claimed she experienced his first outburst that was bad enough that she decided to record it.
There's not 70 recordings of like emotional abuse. It's probably closer to like 10, with the earliest being December of 2020. Yeah.
For several years, it was only Tina that knew how things were behind the scenes. Outwardly, Brad was doing rather well. In 2021, he was in frequently conducted live streams with the twist that he would react to user-submitted music, so long as the said user paid the adequate amount. This for Brad seemingly began on Twitch, but later moved to YouTube.
Hello YouTube, my name is Bradley, I have a BradTaste in music, and today I'm going to be reacting to the entirety of Porter Robinson's album Nurture, okay? As you can see above, someone sent in $424 during my stream today to listen to an entire 1 hour album, which is completely against the rules as I have a 10-minute limit.
This concept was not unique to BradTaste, as channels such as HiveMind have been known to react to music live, even for free, though Brad will lean into this content form more and more in the coming years. As for Brad and his channel, these both saw many improvements. By the end of May, he reached over 100,000 subscribers, and by August, he had kicked his marijuana addiction. Yet, according to Tina, there were still unseen issues.
So he did quit weed in August of 2021, he still was that way, still is this, he was the same person without the weed, but there weren't as many like explosive moments.
Tina would make appearances on Bradley's channel through a vlog in which the pair went to several 21 Pilots concerts, and through reaction videos and the like, such as this one where they created a Christmas music tier list. At the start of 2022, Brad uploaded another video where he was directly speaking about himself to his audience, this time with a positive report.
I dropped out of school to pursue what I'm doing now. The last year or so has been really difficult for me because I've kind of just disappeared mentally off the map. Oh God, I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'll talk about it anyways. I had a bad weed addiction. I discovered weed, and it was just like, it felt like it gave me a new life. And by that I mean I forgot everything that happened beforehand and became really isolated, and it felt like I was living on a different planet, and I became really disassociated.
Brad goes on to state that he is 5 months clean, but maintains he has a long way to go.
However, even though weed ended up becoming like a huge part of my life, my real drug of choice was video games. Ever since I discovered them, it felt like the real world didn't actually matter. Felt like living didn't actually matter, because this thing existed that I could do for an infinite amount of time, never get tired of it, always feel stimulated, and it's a safe place that I could always go to.
As for video games, Brad contends that he has limited his game time and that it has done wonders for him. He then begins to talk about Tina, his experiences moving, and how things got bad, but through kicking and limiting his habits, things got better.
What I ended up doing is I ended up moving out of state, away from everybody, to live with my fiance. And I thought that my problems were where I was. I'm sure this is going to sound like a cliche, but my problems came with me.
It was 2022 that Brad truly began making money on YouTube.
YouTube streams are basically my main source of revenue. I have a system where basically you send in a request, a PayPal request for however much you want. I'll react to a song, and then I'll give it a rating out of 10. And I found this for the longest time to be the most dreaded part of working. I blame this for me not caring about music anymore. I thought that it was just a pain to go in front of a bunch of people. But I think I get it now. I think I actually understand it. And the reason I understand it is because all of a sudden streaming has become my favorite part of working. I actually feel human interaction again.
According to Tina, they moved into a different apartment, and Brad continued to find ways to monetize his content, such as with this stream where the point was to make it through all of a specific artist's album. The catch is, if viewers were to collectively donate $1,000, then Brad would have to start the process over again. This could extend to poorly received individual songs, and this certainly worked to bring in donations.
That is the worst, like, that is so bad. Hey.
What?
Look at this. Ned sent in 300.
Oh no! Oh my god! Alright, well, it's a good thing you got food. You need fuel.
That was from a July 2022 stream. It was easy for Brad to make over $1,000 a day through these streams. Then in August, Brad uploaded a video celebrating how far he had come.
Hello everyone, my name is Bradley. I look like a little bit of a mess, but today I am recording this video because I am celebrating 1 year clean of weed. Looking back at that time, it is sort of just like a hole in my life journey. It feels like a giant blur. It seemed like a lot of stuff was going on and I didn't really know how to explain any of it. I had a simulation way of explaining this that I'm going to show you guys. This is your brain, okay? And this was my brain on weed. It looked something like this. Because weed served for me at least as a psychedelic as well as a stimulant, so I was very anxious all the time, so it was like very stimulating, which made my ADHD go brrr. And then it was a psychedelic to where I started seeing crazy shapes. I was able to envision things really clearly.
Brad goes on to claim that marijuana affected his short-term memory.
Making it so I could be in one room and go to the next room and have, like, I could kind of remember what I was doing in the other room, but it didn't feel like anything really happened. Like, literally, it felt like I just was, like I just spawned out of nowhere.
Brad then talks about the traumatic experience he had while under the influence while watching the show The Good Place. In essence, the characters that are in The Good Place, the pseudo-heaven, ask an assistant what the bad place is like.
I can only play you a brief audio clip of what is happening there right now.
Okay. It looks up like all happy and then it's just... That shit destroyed me. Like, that, mentally, I snapped. Like, if I could describe what the feeling was like, it was as if I was falling back in my own head and I thought I was gonna die.
It was this bad trip that Brad claims kicked off an 8-month period of torture, anxiety, paranoia, and disassociation.
What eventually made me quit was I was talking with my therapist, and I was talking with my therapist for about a year up to that point, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on, what was wrong. And the problem with smoking weed is, like, you really think you're seeing something that the whole world isn't. Like, your eyes are open, or at least in my experience, my issue with it is I thought I was seeing everything that, like, nobody else was understanding, and it just caused me to disconnect with what anyone else was saying. I became super distrustful of my partner, of literally anybody but myself. After quitting, it was hell for the first month or so, like, just straight hell. I was on antipsychotics because I thought I was just literally supposed to feel better after a month, like, and I wasn't feeling better. I just straight up was not connecting to the world. I was very disassociative.
Brad claims it took around 10 months to start feeling normal again. Brad also states that he got to this point because the channel was succeeding. Therefore, outside of work, he had 2 things: time and money, both spent on smoking marijuana to no end.
And my therapist, you told me this too, and he helped me a lot with quitting. He said, if I don't stop, I'm going to lose everything.
Brad stuck to his sobriety. Even with the turmoil 2023 brought, he was able to reach 2 years clean.
I am genuinely so excited to be recording this video that I accept the fact that the background and everything might look a little scuffed. But I've been waiting to record this for a very long time, to the point of where it's like it almost feels like a countdown to a holiday for me. And that, of course, is the fact that I am reaching 2 years clean of weed. I feel like the ultimate trial, though, and what really showed me that I've come a very far way, very long way, was when I was in Detroit, where weed is legal and it is everywhere. And I mean everywhere. The smell, I saw weed. It was like in arm's reach.
Brad revealed that marijuana was not the only substance he was on.
It wasn't just weed. I was taking specifically Adderall for my ADHD. And these 2 drugs together were probably the most intense feeling I've ever felt in my life. But with that being said, here's the kicker. And here's the difficult part about weed addiction. Because all of this is to say the journey doesn't end. In fact, I feel like where I'm at right now, I'm still like telling myself I'll reconsider in 3 years. You know, and that's what it is. It's right now I'm like, in 3 years from now, an extra 3 years, I'll reconsider if I ever want to touch weed again. Which is probably going to be a horrific mistake, but even now, it's like I still think about it. You know? I still think about it. I will make another update next year. Hopefully it's going to be, I was 3 years clean from weed. That would be nice.
Brad in that video stated he was tempted while visiting Detroit. Though he does not provide a reason for the visit, he did, in around 2023, end up seeing the creators of the channel Hive Mind, which may have been the reason for the prior visit as well.
Shout out BradTaste in music.
What a solid dude.
What a great guy. We got to hang out with Brad last week and go see Danny Brown.
Have a classy dinner.
And we got an amazing dinner.
That was fun.
That was such a great time. Shout out to Brad and to Tina, 2 of our very best friends.
That was a clip from a Hivemind livestream. Hivemind and Brad have seemingly grown closer and begun a friendship. Even Tina, in December of 2023, could be seen reacting to music in one of their livestreams. And though Brad had turned his life around, 2023 did challenge him. This mostly involved Brad's reviews affecting the artist and their communities. Or in the case of Ronnie Radke, mostly the artist, as Brad had gotten into a Twitter spat with the controversial lead singer of the band Falling in Reverse. There are 2 important things about these exchanges. First, it demonstrated that Brad could operate under stress. Just like he did in 2018 when he was getting his first wave of hate, he continued to remain stalwart in his beliefs as a critic should. The second important thing is that the exchanges with Radke got Brad to post this image. Brad stated that he had somehow earned $313,000 from tips alone in the last 2 months, though he likely meant in the last 12. Regardless, Brad was doing well for himself. The Radke saga continued far into 2023, with Radke's music label blocking Brad's reviews, leading to creator Anthony Fantano denouncing Radke and promoting Brad. Brad was inarguably successful. In March of 2024, he was actively streaming for 16 hours a day, and also posting these cut-down streams to YouTube.
In the last month alone, I've received 1,100 song requests and about 50 album requests. This was amongst streaming for like 16 hours at a time at points, doing nothing but listening to music.
He like picked that amount. I think at this time he was probably making 20 to 30K a month. So, and he was so like excited about it. He's like, oh my gosh, I get to have my girlfriend at home, my fiance. We were engaged for 3.5 years. He's like, I get to have my fiance at home and like hang out with her all day and blah blah blah. And I was helping him with stuff. Towards the end, he actually rented an empty like commercial space, like a studio, and I was meeting with contractors and planning things to have an actual like outside of our apartment, an actual like office to work in.
It was at the pinnacle that everything changed. It was in 2024 that everything stopped, and as a consequence of his own compounding decisions, slowly everything would be taken away.
All right, let's start from the beginning of like where things went wrong. I went to a show. It was a live show in California. It was Ethan Klein and Ela Klein performing. I had backstage passes. I met them. I talked with them. Like, I post a picture that I have with me, some friends, my fiance, Ethan and Ela Klein. So, like, I basically just went against them and said, you know what, I need to back out. I can't do this. This is too hot. And then everyone called me a pussy.
To his Instagram, like he's posting Instagram stories, calling Brad out for kind of backtracking and throwing Ethan under the bus.
Yes, I backed down and gave up. Call it spineless, I can handle that.
Over 1 million followers on Instagram. And we got home. I mean, Brad was just like spiraling then.
Look at me and accept what you have done to me! Do you see what I've become?
It's crazy hearing people say like that I'm fake crying into the phone. Like, I was scared for my fucking life.
The destabilization of Brad began mid-2024, perhaps even on the stream that took place in May.
I just completed a live stream where I immediately got a channel warning. Now, this has never happened before, but I really believe that this is not fair. For me, for my content, and for what I do, because I do believe that it falls under fair use, especially for a channel like this where it is about discussing and reviewing music directly.
In the middle of reacting to Billie Eilish's new album live, Brad received a channel warning. In essence, as a YouTuber, you are allotted 3 copyright strikes before your channel is terminated. The thing is, Brad did not receive one of these strikes. He only received a warning. Despite the lack of danger to his channel, he does not present it as such.
In other words, I am now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, liable to lose everything that I've worked on for years. Now all of a sudden there is a risk involved with me doing this. Is horrible. It's terrifying. And I am basically posting this to let people know, to get people aware of this, that this is happening. So with that being said, I am unfortunately unable to continue this stream as is until the appeal goes through and I see the result of which, or else they say that I will be basically banned from uploading or streaming for a week, which for me is a really big deal because this is my job. I have a fiance who relies on me. I have dogs. This is basically how I survive and make my livelihood.
This same day, after Brad ended his stream, he uploaded a video titled, "This is really bad," giving an update on the situation.
I just made a video talking about how I got a third-party content warning on my channel. And I talked about how I'm a review channel, how the appeal was rejected. Now, this is really bad. Like, it's so bad. It was just like so quickly they looked over it and decided it's a violation. And it's like, I have the footage. Like, I'm pausing, I'm talking about the music. This is, well, I don't know why I'm being picked out. If they just decide again out of nowhere, oh, third-party content, it's like it's a strike, I can't upload, and they could just keep doing this. And
The comments are not only in support of Brad, many of them, through YouTube Super Thanks, donated money. The top comment even donated $500. To clarify, this is all because Brad feared he might be getting a YouTube strike in the future, which would shortly bar him from streaming, not because he actually got a strike. Then 3 days later, on May 20th, he uploads this.
Oh yeah, don't do this again. They don't tell you what not to do again, so of course I'm going to assume that it's the album that I'm listening to that just came out, it's brand new, not the Charlie XCX song that played while I got up to use the bathroom before coming back to re-listen to the whole album and critique it. There's a solace in knowing that it actually is my fault,
Brad explains that the strike was not due to him listening to the new Billie Eilish album, but because he got up to use the bathroom and left a Charlie XCX song playing, which YouTube later clarified was the issue. Something with Brad was unbalanced. He was starting to act erratic. Just 5 days after the YouTube warning was resolved, Brad posted this lengthy text on Twitter. It reads, quote, "I am done reviewing anything 21 Pilots related. Everyone was so happy when I enjoyed the first single. No one had a single issue with me. And since I didn't enjoy the full album, the fans have shown themselves as just a bunch of weirdos. I actually really expected to love this album and left it feeling like it stunk. The amount of people saying I went in to hate it or I was just influenced by chat is insane. This level of delusion and distrust is so rude. I've been giving my honest opinion on this band for years, and people who have loved my stuff for years are turning on me for one video where they disagree with me. So yeah, this band doesn't deserve any more of my attention. People would have been stoked if I loved it. No one would be criticizing me and how I dissect the album if I enjoyed these songs. I see this time and time again. You people are hypocrites, I'm done." Unquote. The top reply to Brad's tweet reads, "You're so weird." And though there are some comments of support, a fair amount of Twitter users are pointing out how they believe Brad did not give the album a fair shake. But more importantly, how strange or unfair Brad's statement was. As a reviewer, he was openly caving to poor reception. As a creator, he was showing that negative comments were affecting him, no doubt emboldening bad actors. Brad was erratic. One of the few things that could make this worse would be introducing marijuana, the substance known for bringing out his worst behaviors. Despite knowing the risks, knowing how much it affects his mental state and life, and understanding that using it to relieve temporary anxiety would only increase it in the long run, Brad, in June of 2024, was reintroduced to the substance. Late June 2024. Creators H3H3, also known as Ethan and Ela, were doing a live show in LA. Brad and Tina attended this show. Afterwards, H3H3, even though they were unaware of who Brad was, were generous enough to give him and Tina backstage passes. And Ela allegedly talked to Brad all night. This is the origin of the infamous Twitter post and picture. It is captioned with H3's famous phrase, "Great moves." As any fan or detractor of H3H3 knows, they are highly controversial as they have shared their opinions on what is happening in Israel and Palestine. There are even continued disagreements on what their stances are. This is to say any opinion on them will be viewed with split reaction. Brad's photo with them was no exception. The following day, Brad tweets in regret at posting the picture, stating what is happening in Palestine is awful. He continues by stating that his family members were actually killed at the hands of Hamas, and that he stands with Palestine alongside addressing the rift the war has caused in his own family. He ends the tweet chain with, quote, "I'm going to do my best to keep educating myself and listening to Palestinian voices, and I hope you guys are able to be patient with me as I genuinely try to learn. I also want to thank the people in my community whose collective outcry helped me break out of my harmful mindset." Unquote. In some spaces, this was viewed positively. Brad was apologetic and gave a promise to learn. In other spaces, Brad appeared to act without conviction, caving in the moment things got hot, making these statements not because he actually cared, but because he was scared of the masses. In doing this, he also affirmed that taking a photo with H3H3 was a statement. This was instead of relying on the more innocuous intent of taking a photo of a creator he was a fan of outside of the geopolitics of the world. Brad was seen as a backstabber, especially by H3H3 and their community. As such, when Brad tweeted about H3H3 having really strong and dangerous opinions, Ethan from H3H3 screenshotted the post and captioned it with, quote, "I'm still waiting to know what these strong and dangerous opinions are." Unquote. As Ethan and others were displeased with him, Brad was now posting about struggling to handle all the noise that was coming from having an opinion, going as far to say that he's seen every side of the situation mad at him for a different reason. He was struggling to make everyone happy. Ethan responded to this as well, saying that he does not blame Brad for his response and that his heart goes out to the people suffering in Gaza and that he will continue to support Palestine. Brad was panicked. He was struggling to find the answer to the impossible question on how to please everyone. He was continuing to grow more and more erratic, more and more in need for some tranquility. This is when everything got even worse.
We got home and he got weed and basically kept smoking. So
the effects of the substance on Brad were immediate.
Yo, Allie, 4 minutes ago says, "Hey Brad, I heard you mentioning a struggle with disassociation. I've been having the same experience for years after a bad Thank you, Allie.
Brad sits in silence for nearly 30 seconds, almost frozen. While it was clear he was live, it was not clear if he was present. He initially attempts to play this off and continue on with the stream, but it doesn't work, so he begins to explain himself.
Bad drug trips are not like... life doesn't really feel like a movie, you know, when something that... But I'll just say that I started feeling disassociative around the exact same time I had a really bad trip as well. And I'm sorry, just the mention of it is kind of just brought it up again, I guess. Which you don't need to feel sorry about, because it's really like you did nothing wrong. I really appreciate it.
Brad struggles to find words until he is overwhelmed with emotion.
I'm not going to talk about it, but it was just like, yeah, it's hard. What makes it also so hard about a bad drug trip, like a real one, like a really existential one, is it just feels like you don't know how to explain it, and it instantly feels like it changes your life. And you just instantly feel like you will not be the same again. It's like you feel a switch on your brain turn on. No, I appreciate that. It's not that I'm happy that you're going through it. It's just nice to know that someone else, like, I'm just not alone in this shit. It's like every day is hard. And I have to just cope with the new way that my brain works.
Brad was possibly talking about his bad trip related to watching The Good Place. Little did his audience know he was no longer far removed from the substance that caused that experience. Day in and day out, according to Tina, Brad was smoking and getting worse. July 4th, 2024. An anonymous post appears on the BradTaste Music subreddit. Quote, IDK how much this community would care, but Brad's not a great guy, and I have a feeling more will come out in the next year. Let's say your boy is obsessed with money. Not a secret, he only values clout. But he likes to take that money his fans so graciously throw at his streams and uses it to fund a casino gambling addiction and to cheat on his long-suffering partner who he neglects and expects to do everything for him still. Big Baller B ain't a character. It's who he secretly thinks he is. Check the strip club's receipt, Brad. We see you. Man's making 100 grand plus, something he privately flexes a month off his fans and YouTube ads, but gets on camera crying and saying he's got a fiancé to support when he can't stream for a single week. Fuck outta with that lying shit. Unquote. Due to this post's anonymous nature, it is disreputable. There have been no indications that Brad has these habits. It is likely a troll attempting to derail Brad. This is what the reaction would have been if ARTV, the channel that initially indirectly helped launch Brad's own channel, didn't claim he made this post. Quote, and what if I told you that I'm the one who made the post, just to see how people would react to an anon account versus someone with credibility. Unquote. ARTV goes on to state that he knows he's making an enemy of Brad, but he's also put off in how Brad's been acting. He then links to evidence that Brad called him. While this is not available, these screenshots are. They are of ARTV later reaching out to Tina, informing her that Brad went to strip clubs, was blowing $10,000 a night gambling, and as Tina later confirmed, $4,000 for an HJ. Some of these details were still not yet public, and ARTV would soon remove his post. Paruko, Brad's editor at the time, would come to his defense, stating that they believe this is either false information or that ARTV was lying, going as far to say that ARTV appeared as a scummy, untrustworthy, immature person. In a second post, Paruko doubles down and states that even if it was all true, then what would be ARTV's place to air it all out? Brad was safe. Even though these claims were credible, they continued to not appear as such at the time. However, what was now public information was that Brad had relapsed, as these streamers were reacting too.
It's embarrassing, it's sad, but it's true and important to address. I did break my 3-year sobriety.
No!
Marijuana.
No!
This happened around early July. As such, on July 8th, Brad released a video titled Opening Up.
What's up, you guys? It's Bradley here, and I am very nervous recording this. And I'd like to set the record straight and say that I was not well. I've not been well over the last handful of years, and a lot of what I've said has been just straight up delusional.
Brad in this video frames his smoking happening as if it were in the past and not the present.
Or not 2020, where I was very mentally unstable and very unwell. This, of course, combined with the fact that I did end up starting to smoke weed, was really bad. What ended up happening is, when I was smoking weed, I started actually working through some stuff. And I've been basically, I quit weed, and I shouldn't have done it even, like, you know, before 25 or whatnot.
Despite Brad already coming out that he relapsed, he does not state as such in this video. He does, however, talk about his traumatic experience watching The Good Place, and explains that he had the revelation that he was very manipulative.
What ended up happening is I saw myself in a show about morality. I saw the fact that I was mistreating my parents, I was abandoning everyone, I wasn't listening to anyone but myself, and that I was a very selfish person. I saw that for my whole life, I've been taking the easy route, and I've been manipulating people. I'm a very manipulative person. Or at least I was.
Though Brad states he was, implying he is no longer manipulative, evidence would come out representing the contrary. For now, Brad was still in the midst of the H3H3 photo fallout and was feeling generous. On July 11th, Brad posted in support of a smaller creator known as Rose Malay. stating they are a content creator who has been making huge improvements and that they recently made a video covering Brad. The issue here is that Rose Malay is a universally disliked figure. Brad, likely taking the lesson that one should be stalwart in their stances, was now, on Twitter, defending a creator who in the past advocated for relationships with animals and endorsed those that ignore consent. Even when presented with the screenshots of Rose saying these things, Brad would not budge. Brad even quote-tweeted the original tweet, calling him out, and continued to double down on his stances that Rose is mentally ill and sympathy should be had. Later in the day, he started to backtrack as he took down the post in defense of her. Then, on the 13th, he came out with an apology, stating he was sorry for platforming Rose and that he saw his own mental disability in her. Here, he also claims that he did not know about the full extent of Rose's opinions. It was only when he was made fully aware of everything that he decided to make it clear how he feels about her. This is where it could have ended, but then Rose uploaded a video expressing her sadness in Brad's betrayal. Then, a few days later, she uploaded a video striking back at Brad.
I believe they were trans. I was so wrapped up in my own that I was just like, I don't care about your gender. Hey, you're I mean, my God, I didn't even realize that word had been on an island and isolated and you couldn't say it anymore. I said it in a fucking awful context, too.
I was transphobic at 17. I liked Trump at 17. Rose remembers. I can tell you for sure that I've said the N-word, but you guys already knew this. Come on. Oh my God, I know, it's terrible. You guys are acting like you've never said something you weren't supposed to say before? Come on, chill.
Those were the first 32 seconds of Rose's video. A little over a minute in, she shares the information that Brad didn't know the full extent of Rose's comments, which directly contradicts his public apology.
He is very clearly responding to one of my comments about rape. Those tweets are both still up. So for him to say that he had no idea is just a blatant lie and an attempt to save face, because what he cares about most is not losing his audience. Brad has told me in the past that he doesn't care what I post and that he also looks for attention. He's just more careful about how he does it.
Brad had been embroiled in controversy nonstop for a few weeks now, but there was respite when H3H3 began talking about Brad and started making steps to mend things.
Okay, so there's this dude. I don't want to go too hard on this guy, but at the same time,
Brad,
I do want to say that this guy's an idiot.
Brad,
we gave you backstage access. We spend like a considerable amount of time like connecting and talking with you, and then you use it to go online and fucking like throw me to the wolves. Like, I was offended. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? That's so lame. Like, why did you even come?
Ethan also covers how even though he did not know who Brad was, he gave him these passes. And upon investigation, Brad could actually be found in the chat during live streams. So just as Rose exposed in her falling out with him, Brad was also likely aware of the controversy surrounding Ethan, making it evident that in both cases he was lying about not knowing about the controversy surrounding these figures in attempts to appease, or rather attempts to manipulate the masses.
I don't want to talk about this, though.
Go ahead. What's wrong with Ethan, motherfucker? Explain it. You didn't think there was enough wrong with me when you came to my show and like took advantage of our hospitality and came and spent the whole night with us, yucking it up. And the part that people don't know that I thought was especially spineless and lame is that him and Hila were talking shop about, you know, Israel and talking about the war and everything all night. And then he comes home and be's like, oh, they have dangerous opinions. It's like, bro. The problem is that he just says whatever he thinks people want to hear, which is a terrible way to conduct yourself.
Later in the podcast, Brad was able to call in where the two de-escalate the building tension.
I didn't know what I was doing. I listened to my audience because I didn't really even know what I believed in. So I just did whatever, just said and tried to do whatever to just make it so I didn't have to feel the pain of the situation of maybe I did something wrong, you know? This is what I've heard from people who I've trusted, and instead of doing my own research and actually coming up with my own opinion on what you said, I just parroted what they said.
Right. But at any rate, breaks are good, you know, get yourself together. We want Brad's taste. We want Brad to continue to taste. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, keep tasting.
And I will.
There was an issue with this podcast, as Brad allegedly stated he was taking a break from being online, yet made an appearance here. Supposedly, his mod team was fed up with his lies, so they made all his videos private, rebranded and kicked him out of his Discord server and deleted his subreddit. This is why on his social blade there is negative 9 million views in July of 2024, and an 8+ million when the majority of the videos were made public again. Peruko, Brad's editor, claims that the mods did not private his videos. It was Brad. However, Peruko does corroborate that the mods did rebrand the Discord server and did lock his subreddit. Peruko had been an outspoken supporter of Brad. This was also going to change. A month later, on August 19th, Peruko states that Brad had put her $411 in debt on PayPal and is refusing to resolve it. She explains that she was hired a month ago to edit his videos and that Brad decided to help her out by buying the editing software Final Cut Pro. She buys Final Cut Pro and everything seems fine, until inexplicably the money is refunded by Brad. Peruko then confronts Brad on Discord, but he only sends some of the money and Peruko is still in the negative on PayPal. Peruko keeps pestering Brad, but he does not take immediate action to correct the situation. Contact is eventually made. Brad then demands that Peruko confirm that it was him that refunded the money. Peruko does this and confirms what Brad should have already known, as PayPal states that it was Brad who charged back that money. Then, shortly after making this all public, Brad finally sends the amount owed. Brad's explanation for this blunder is, quote, "I have trouble with vision and poor reading comprehension, and my partner broke her glasses and currently is struggling to see," unquote. Brad also responded in video form.
Hi guys, this is Bradley here. I needed to make this message. I am going through a lot emotionally right now, but I need you to understand that I am being accused of a lot right now. And I'm going through a lot, and this is very serious. And this person who is supposed to be my friend has publicly accused me of theft on a platform, and I believe they are trying to hurt me. And I am not okay. And I've been spending literally any moment I could all day trying to figure out this financial thing with them. Literally, like, from the moment that I knew it was serious, I was getting calls, my fiance was getting calls, and we were answering them and like picking up, and like I was like, okay, something is serious, like something is wrong. Okay, this charge, deal with this. Okay, 151, got it. Oh, I gotta deal with other stuff, I'm busy. Peruko, I need you to be patient with me, please. I'm busy all day. I come back and it's like, I literally am like struggling, and Peruko's like, fuck you, like, look at the PayPal statements, you fucking lie. I'm confused, and then I see this shit on Twitter, and I look at the picture, oh, it says refunded under the bottom one, so I didn't even get to that one yet. And instead, now, 500,000 people have seen something that is a complete fucking lie I'm sorry.
From a friend!
From a fucking...
Shortly after this, Peruko deactivated her Twitter account, stating that she doesn't want this kind of stress. Brad also deactivated one of his social media accounts, specifically his Album of the Year account where he rates music. For some reason, this account was tagged as deceased. On August 20th, the same day that this was being reported on, so was this video Brad made asking directly for money and making it a point to cut off communication, likely due to his falling out with Peruko.
Let me just put it like this. I need to stop making friends online. So, what's going to happen now is there's going to be a lot less chat interaction. But I love music. I just really hate that I am like super mentally ill and and anyone has access to the ability to talk to me. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask help from you guys. Financial help. Like actual financial help right now. I need enough money to support my family. And basically, I need enough money to last about a month, right? So in total, maybe about 10 grand. With my family and moving and closing off leases. Yeah. Like, that's like the minimum, right? Chat is, I plan on not interacting with any chat because, honest to God, like, fuck that. I want to listen to music. I'm so fucking sick of anyone being able to talk to me. Like actually, just imagine that. Just imagine anyone in the world being able to say anything to you at any point, and you have to just sit there and accept that. Like, fuck that.
Brad does not go into depth as to where the money would go, only that his family needs it and that it would go to some general upgrades. But he does state that he would be ceasing chat interaction. Through this, viewers would be getting the worst of both worlds. Brad's decline was evident.
I feel like I can see his mental state withering in real time. every time I see him talk. And it's getting worse and worse too, as like he can't deal with criticism he's getting.
The comments in this Reddit post were expressing their frustration with Brad's demands. One reads, quote, "I won't interact with chat. I need 10 grand. The entitlement is real. Brad has over 300,000 subscribers. Why is he e-begging? If he needs the money so bad, then work harder. Stop getting into altercations online that result in a public meltdown. And stop acting like you deserve the money for reacting to songs. He will be lucky if he isn't a lolcow within a few years. Honestly." Unquote. More perplexing is that Brad's reasonings don't line up with his finances. ARTV had previously exposed that Brad claims he was making $100,000 a month and that he was spending $10,000 a night at a casino. $10,000 was the amount he would so easily throw away, but it was now how much he was asking to survive a month off of. This was especially insulting when considering that his average viewer was likely not even earning half of that monthly, while Brad was making it seem like it was life or death. Expectedly, Brad deleted this video, excusing it by stating, quote, "Posted something stupid instead of staying offline. Gonna use the 30-minute rule I made up and blame my autism and being betrayed by my best friend last night." Unquote. Brad failed to address why he needed the money and why he made it seem like it was an emergency. To add to the madness, Tina would later reveal she did not even know why Brad was asking for this money.
I really don't even know what the fuck that was for. It might have been for like the office that, because we needed to we were setting up, well not we, I was setting up a studio space for him.
Brad, the following day, uploaded a video where the intro is attempting to play off his most recent blunder. While this hinted at the possibility of Brad ignoring the ongoing dramas as he did with this video, while live streaming, it became clear he was not going to.
I've been really standing up for some people and who turn out to literally be the worst people ever. I'm literally being abused. No, that's the worst word I could use. Forget that. No, forget I said that.
Does anyone know if Brad's taking legal action? I heard something about it. Here's the thing, all right? What they did sucked. They're probably never going to admit that it sucked, but I genuinely have nothing I want to go after them for. That's the thing that's the most shocking about this. Why would I go after them? The whole thing was the fact that I paid them back the money. It just took me a while to figure out how much and exactly to get it right so that I know what I'm sending, so I know what to put down in my books, you know? But I'm working and busy.
Yeah, being autistic, I'll say likely autistic, and having a large platform is not a great combo.
Brad then moves on to talking about the reason the money for Paruka was initially refunded.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to complain real quick. You need to understand something. I saw that a transaction was reversed, and I knew that something happened where I reported a fraudulent transaction recently because I saw no information on it, and I immediately knew, okay, Paruka, my friend, needs money.
Brad himself refunded the money because he did not remember why he paid it, as there were no notes attached to the payment. Though Brad's decisions were the cause of all this, his frustrations with Paruka is what he was focusing on. Specifically, her airing out the refund, stating it is the worst thing anyone has ever done to him.
Because I just said I was publicly accused of fraud to 1 million people online. I am actively being accused of fraud by strangers to the point of where I had to deactivate all of my shit so that I wouldn't go insane because of something so horrible that this person did. So horrible that I had to change my life. Okay? And you're going to fucking tell me that this person deserves some sort of respect? Some patience or some grace? That is the worst thing anyone's ever done to me, and you're going to tell me I owe him something after being that wronged? After trying to make things right? Tina says, I've never seen you cry like that. I've never cried like that! Just, oh my god. I didn't even see. They sent me an apology, by the way. I didn't even get to see this. Sorry. Seeing that massive negative in my account horrified me because I didn't have the money to resolve it, which is why I literally said I will give you the money instantaneously. Instantly, by the way. I didn't hesitate for a second. I didn't hesitate for a second to give him the money. That's what I wish I could show you guys right now. How about you fucking do something instead of just hiding? How about you actually show your face and admit that what you did was disgusting? Goodbye. I'm done.
Brad, in late August, would even be caught smoking on stream. It was around this time that he uploaded a video that was both about roasting a turkey and about Reddit ruining his life.
What's up, you guys? So this is an important video. I wanted to tell you guys basically that I was roasting a turkey yesterday, right? And so when you roast a turkey, it's got to be in the oven for 2 hours or something, right? Well, I didn't understand this, so I put a stick through it, all right? And it didn't fit in the oven, so I had to take the stick out, and then I had to take out the stuffing. But when I eventually put it in the oven, it was all good. To anybody who is basically slowing me down from making mental health progress, slowing down me donating to charity, making it right with people, getting offline and interacting with friends. If you're one of the people who is stopping me from doing this and also telling me that it's for my own good, fuck you. Fuck you. If you're a subscriber, unsubscribe, leave a comment, and I'll happily hide you from the channel. Genuinely, you guys are some of the worst fucking people I've ever met, and I'm glad that I'm gonna stop making friends on the internet. Because genuinely, I don't want anything to do with like 99% of you guys. Shout out to the the small amount of the audience that actually does, like, care. What's up, guys? I would like to make an official apology to my community, as I have been posting very strange videos and very confusing reviews and messages, and just not being very clear over the last month, and I know a lot of people have been scared of me.
This apology extended to Peruko, as she states she was apologized to in private. Then on August 31st, Brad ends his stream in a highly concerning way.
I, under no circumstance, can listen to this album right now because I am not safe in my own home, and I really can't describe much else.
No one publicly knew what Brad meant by this, until now. This is Tina's side of the events.
He did show me a text from his ex that said that he was narcissistic and abusive. And that was not my experience with him at the time. And so I just was like, oh, like, that's kind of crazy of her to say that to you. I don't believe that. But now, of course, looking back, in retrospect, my whole relationship, like, yeah, she was right. Like, he is a narcissistic abuser.
Tina claims she was woken up to Brad's treatment during a trip to visit Hivemind, who reside in Detroit, in early August 2024.
I tried to not be scared of him and to put my hand gently on his shoulder and like give it a little rub and be like, it's okay, like, I love you. I'm not trying to hurt you. And yeah, he grabbed my hand and like wrist immediately off of his shoulder and threw it away from him like as hard as he could. And it was like a grip, like a I don't know how to explain, but all I know is that afterwards my hand and my wrist were aching for like a good hour or so.
So you grabbed your fingers and whatever, and this was
my wrist, my hand, yeah.
And this was at an Airbnb, you said, not at your actual house? So...
Yeah, it was in Michigan. We were visiting our friends in Detroit, actually, and this was the first time that we had been there visiting them while he was on weed. Mm-hmm. And they actually witnessed him being. He was so used to treating me like shit that he didn't even realize that like other people would be picking up on it. So he was yelling at me in front of our friends, and we left in that moment. We got in the car. He's still screaming at me. I'm trying to pull up the address to the Airbnb, and he's like, you can't even look at me, you're on your phone. I think I have a recording of actually this. So we get to the Airbnb and we walk in together, and something, I don't know, he like mishears me.
This started another confrontation where Brad allegedly screamed so loud that the Airbnb's host reached out.
And I was just saying to him, like, Brad, like, the Airbnb host is downstairs. Like, this is a duplex. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, they're gonna call the cops. Like, I'm
message is about, right? It's like they're like saying
yeah.
they're concerned.
Yeah, and I was like, they're gonna call the cops. Like, you have to stop screaming. Like, I just was trying to not have the cops show up at the Airbnb. He went down to his car, took all of my suitcase and my backpack and everything. He threw it all on the front lawn of the Airbnb, and he drove off.
With Brad momentarily gone, Tina stayed with a friend.
After this situation with the Airbnb, which I kind of explained in the text messages to him, I had to go stay at a friend's house that night, and that friend was the first person in my life to tell me that I was experiencing abuse. I took that very seriously, and that was August 12th, and I was still with Brad at that time. We went back home after this trip, but he ended up getting arrested two weeks later.
Tina and Brad's trip ends around mid-August. But Brad makes one last stop.
And on the way home, coming out of Michigan, he stopped at a dispensary and he went in and spent $600 on weed. And if you know anything about Michigan weed prices, it's very cheap in Michigan. He bought so much. And then when he got back in the car, I have audio of this as well. He was mad at me for letting him spend $600 on weed, like as if I was responsible for stopping him from doing that.
This brings us up to the events of Paruko, the PayPal chargeback, and Brad being caught smoking on stream. It is now August 29th, 2024. Yet another verbal confrontation takes place at Brad and Tina's apartment. Tina records audio of this confrontation and sends it to her mother as well as Brad's mother alongside a few others.
I immediately sent it to his mom and my mom first. His mom was like very nonchalant about it and was like, oh, he can't be talking to you like that, like blah, blah, blah. My mom immediately came and picked me up and brought me to her house. I just talked to friends on the phone that night and was just like, yeah, it's really, really, really bad. I think I shared it with maybe one or two of like my closest friends. And once again, nobody at Hive Mind.
It is now August 30th. Tina texts Brad asking if she can come back and get a backpack of stuff. Brad responds by stating that she can do whatever she needs to do and reassures her that no matter what happens, he's not going to talk badly about her online, as he has no interest in continuing any drama whatsoever.
August 31st, I woke up in the morning on the couch and Brad was already streaming. And he told me, I'm just going to be streaming. I'm going to leave you alone. You do what you need to do. And I was like, okay, cool. I was sitting on the couch on the phone with my mom, and she was just saying, when's Brad's mom coming to town? I said, I don't know. No one's telling me anything. I messaged her. I'm trying to figure out when she's coming here. So obviously, like, I need someone to step in. It's bad. And I guess he was listening through the office door, and he busted out of his office door and immediately started screaming at me. I put my mom on speakerphone, and he was screaming at my mom too. And my mom was like, Bradley, you can't talk to Tina like that. And he just, it was getting explosive again, just like how it was a couple days ago. And he was approaching me. I was kind of getting backed up against the sliding door out to the balcony, screaming at me. My mom heard all of it. And that truly was my breaking point where I was like, I literally can't even be in my home. Like, I'm literally not like safe in my own home. And so I ran out onto the balcony and I closed the door behind me and I called 911. I was just like, I'm fucking done.
This is where the timelines finally meet. As such, this recontextualizes this clip.
I under no circumstance can listen to this album right now because I am not safe in my own home. And I really can't describe much else.
They went in and talked to him, and then that's where that clip from a stream, he's about to listen to like the Magdalena Bay album, and there's a clip of him where he's like, I under no circumstances, he's like, I under no circumstances can continue the stream. I'm not safe in my own home. At that moment, it's because the cops were outside. They were in our apartment. The cops were there for him. So that's why he ended the stream. That's why he said he didn't feel safe in his own home. Literally in that moment, the cops were there. And when they came out, one of the cops was like, they're both claiming to be the victim. And I was like, not shocked. Like, of course, he literally said he would do that. And so I kind of had no choice but to pull up the audio from 2 days prior and say, okay, well, this is what happened 2 days ago. And this is just an example of like kind of the explosive like abuse, verbal abuse that I'm dealing with. And I played it for them and they were like, oh, we're arresting him. And I was like, oh, I don't want him to get arrested. And they're like, it's, not your choice. We've actually decided that we're doing it. Like, it's happening, whether you want it to or not. They asked me, like, did you worry that he was going to hit you? I was like, I honestly, like, I don't know. And one of the cops said, if you weren't worried about getting physically hurt, why would you run and close and lock the door behind you? And I was like, that's a great point. I truly didn't know. I didn't know if he was going to hurt me.
With the public only in the know that Brad's stream ended abruptly, Tina was messaged asking about Brad. Here she states that he is okay and that they are both getting the support that they need. The 31st, the day that Brad was arrested, was also the day Tina broke up with Brad. On September 6th, Brad would upload a video stating that he was entering rehab.
What's up, guys? Bradley here, letting you know that I am going to rehab. Yep. About 2 months. It's intensive outpatient care. A lot of stuff has happened in the last month I've not handled well. I've not been handling my anger well. I've not been handling controversy well, and I've kind of honestly just ended up in a really bad spot and embarrassed a lot of people because of it. So what I'm going to be doing is going somewhere to essentially learn more about myself and get help so that I can basically make a healthy return. So
Brad ends this video by telling his audience to expect zero content for the next 2 months. He also announced this on Twitter. The internet was relieved. Up to this point, comments demanding that Brad get offline were frequently found on his videos. And not only was he getting offline, he was supposedly being rehabilitated. On the 11th, he clarified what the rehab was for. Quote, going for anger management, addiction, and trauma. Unquote. On the 14th, he again shared he was going to rehab in an intro to a mix he had made.
Hello, my name is Bradley Taste, and I would like to share with you this most amazing DJ mix I made. Hello, it's got a lot of swans, it's got a lot of waka flocka just for you to enjoy. Hello, I'm gonna rehab soon. If you could tell, I really need it from this DJ mix. Enjoy. I hope I see you soon.
Tina, on the 15th, tweeted that she was going to break her lease and move to Detroit, and was very much serious about this. Though the internet was still in the dark about what was going on with Brad, what happened between him and Tina, and the events leading up to it, Rose Millay uploaded and subsequently deleted a video explaining the majority of it.
BradTaste in Music got arrested over a confrontation he had with Tina. The reason he told me this is because he said to me while laughing that no one would believe me. The problem is that he didn't account for the fact that this is all public record, and I was easily able to find evidence of this occurring. After Brad got arrested, Tina secretly recorded the confrontation that they had and leaked that recording to HiveMind.
Side note, Tina states that she did not leak that audio to HiveMind.
They're not on good terms. I had a call with Brad, and he was saying some very negative stuff about Tina. When Brad made that video saying that he needed 10K, he made that video because Tina wanted money. The money stopped coming in. Brad basically told me that Tina wanted money because he was gonna take time off of work. She basically ratted him out and betrayed him because her source of financial income was gone. And then Brad says, I'm not gonna post about her or any breakup. Let her waste HiveMind's money instead of mine.
Tina, as has been shown in this video, has stated she did not know why Brad made that video. Furthermore, Rose appears to be parroting what Brad told her. This would explain why this video was deleted and why re-uploads flew under the radar. Still, there is one audio clip that is played that does give insight to who Brad was spending time with.
Honestly, that's not even the craziest part of this all. That came when Brad sent me an audio message of him basically telling me that he met up with his old friend who's a sex offender.
What's up, Rose? I don't think you needed to do anything different. Rose, you are someone who is self-aware about their own actions and the consequences of which those actions brought. As far as I'm concerned, you're not crazy, you're not horrible. And if it means anything, one of the people I came home to and met, the dude is now a registered sex offender who faced life in prison. And my other friend got in a drunk driving accident and was under house arrest and just got his ankle monitor off. So if you think you have it rough, the people I know in real life are far more dangerous than you can ever be.
As Tina and Brad had broken their lease and Tina had moved to Detroit, Brad moved not to a different apartment, but back to his parents.
Like most personal questions, just the answer is somebody's helping me out, I'm getting help or whatever, so. Am I back in my childhood bedroom? I am. And there's some new art in here. There is.
It was on this stream that Brad played yet another mix he had made.
Can't you move again? I'll beat the shit out of you. Don't make me wake this baby. She don't need to see what I'm about to do. Quit crying, bitch. Why you always make me shout at you? It's alright. Oh my god.
The echo. Oh my god.
Play that back again. Can we get a snare drum? The smiles returning to the faces.
This sucks, LOL. Hey! I poured my heart and my soul into this song.
Brad ends the stream by providing an update on his goals and where Tina is.
I'm probably going to find temporary work after rehab and work on DJing over the next 2 months and hopefully get a job as a DJ. Is Tina doing okay? Tina is doing good. She is literally with probably the best people she could be with right now.
Brad's goals were seemingly challenged as he stated he was kicked out of rehab on day 1, though he quickly admitted both in text form and video form that he was trolling about getting kicked out.
I said I got kicked out of rehab. This is my video saying I did not. I instead went to rehab. That's right. I went to rehab and I didn't get kicked out. It's true. Or is it?
On Twitter, Brad is being more direct and reconfirms he is not being kicked out and that he should not have joked about it. More on this, Brad, on September 20th, explains that his continued postings and where he should have been offline were attempts to retain his online presence, and this realization has made him panic.
Hi guys, so I was crying, so I apologize for looking like a total mess. But I just wanted to say that recently I've been just like clawing, trying to survive and keep my platform instead of getting help. And I think a big reason is because I'm just scared that I've lost my community and everything I've built. And you know what? A lot of it is selfish. A lot of it is like, I deserve this. But also a lot of it's like, I care about the community and I need help. I need to get offline, and I just want some reassurance from some people who care about me that like, you'll be there when I'm gone. Or when I come back, I mean. Because I want to do this the right way, but I'm scared, and I just wanted to ask for a little help and reassurance, and that's all. So thank you. If you do leave some, I appreciate you. Bye.
The reaction to this video was the general reaction that Brad had been getting. Get help, log off. The top comments on this Reddit post discussing Brad's most recent video place importance on why Brad should be in inpatient care rather than outpatient. And then on the 25th, Brad responded to this notion as well as to a few others that displeased him.
When the internet and in large tells me, Bradley, get offline, what my brain perceives this as is an attack. And the way I feel about that is really sad and scared and uncertain because I fear that I'm going to lose my job. When the internet talks about my relationship, the way I perceive this is I should have never shown this woman to the world. And the way I feel about that is horrified and sad and scared. But also at the same time lucky that people are taking her side right now. Thank God that people are not attacking this woman.
Brad in this same video states he is now reflecting on the comments to go offline as if they were sponsors in support of him.
The way I perceive this now is that I have 360,000 sponsors telling me to get the hell offline. All right? And I appreciate you because you're right. That is part of the problem.
Brad closes the video by claiming he is clean of all substances, including prescribed ones such as Adderall. Following this, in October, he announced that he had graduated rehab. However, on the 24th, he did state he was planning on continuing his rehabilitation through an inpatient program, meaning he would spend his nights at a rehabilitation facility and would be stripped of the freedoms outpatient programs have.
Like, I am actually able to make changes. I went to rehab, and that was the best thing that I could have done for myself, and it's been so good that I'm going to be continuing on with an IOP program that's going to be another 2 months.
Brad, for the months of July to August, had lost nearly everything. Tina had left him, he had lost his friends, his apartment, and his sanity. Brad would mostly adhere to silence, choosing to stream infrequently. It was Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025, that Brad uploaded a video reflecting on it all.
And I now sit here in front of you guys, maybe about a year later from that, saying that I lost pretty much everything that I care about. All those things are gone. And I'd love for it to be as easy as to just blame weed for all of it, but it's not. Weed is just like a small part of a much bigger puzzle of everything, but it certainly didn't help.
Brad, further into the video, states he's still in rehab for something known as SI or S ideation.
Everything that I worked for and everything that I cared for just like either flipped on its head and wasn't what I thought it was, or just like wasn't what I wanted, or wasn't what I thought it would be. And I just wanted to die.
In March, a new review on Brad's Album of the Year account would get the attention of Reddit. Not because of the song he was reviewing, but because of the information about his personal life he was relaying. Quote, I really have a complicated relationship right now with a lot of people I have worked with recently due to making an ass out of myself and losing a lot of connections. I don't really know where I stand with a lot of great people. Unquote. Brad appeared to be remorseful of his actions. But if anything is true in Brad's story, it is that history repeats itself. And just as it was in 2024, something in 2025 happened that sent Brad spiraling. Publicly, this began when he uploaded a video titled SI on July 24th, 2025.
So I want to try to explain to you guys what's going on through my head, because it's pretty interesting. I had to just go to my computer and hit record because I know I have to make this video.
There are already a few things to point out. Besides Brad's unkempt appearance, the stream overlay is still present. From the best of Debussy on the right-hand side to the image of Pitbull on the top center. Both would sit on screen for the duration of this unscripted and entirely unprepared video.
I've just been like contemplating the perfect video, you know, that'll fix it all. I'll just say the right words and everything will go back to normal. I have learned since then that is not reality, and I don't want it to be reality. So basically, I'm here making this video really for the reason that like I want to get certain information across to people who care.
This video reflects Brad's mental state. He bounces from talking about Tina, his downfall, and his improved relationship with his father. The major takeaway from viewers appeared to be what Brad was saying about Tina.
She's involved. You know, she's a part of the whole equation. And I start trying to, you know, say things to fix it. And when I try to help, it basically results in her screaming and crying that things are getting worse and that it's all my fault.
Brad sits in silence for the next 10 seconds before continuing.
I'm paying her a ridiculous amount of money, like $5,000 a month, to basically do nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't have a problem with that.
This Google Doc contains a list of Tina's responsibilities for this $5,000 a month. They include laundry, dishes, the majority of shopping, every aspect of cleaning, taking care of the dogs, managing their finances, planning for his work and trips and work trips, buying Brad's clothes, managing Brad's business from dealing with contractors, designers, setting up equipment, coordinating with collaborators, and supporting him via providing food and water during his live streams, etc.
And everything that, I mean, he just expected me to do it all on my own. It was really like all that he was capable of doing, and I feel mean saying this, but also fuck that guy. All he was capable of doing was sitting in front of a computer and making a video or streaming. Anything else that was involved taking care of like himself, taking care of his house, taking care of his business, it did not happen unless I did it. And so it was like $5,000 a month to literally do everything. And at that point, that's already the weight that I felt, even while I was working full time. So I'm like, well, fuck, I might as well just like do this. I can barely get up for work in the morning. I wake up and I feel like I got hit by a bus every day. I would make like an invoice every 2 weeks, and then I would have to literally write that, like he couldn't even, I'd have to literally write the check because he didn't even like, he wanted to sign it. He wanted to pay me. He made that clear. But then I still had to like literally do everything except for wipe his ass for him. Like, I'm not kidding. He pushed me into like a mother role that I didn't ask for.
I was fucking pissed. I was just like mad because I'm trying to fucking figure everything out in like an impossible situation. You know, trying to get things back to normal so that like we could live a normal fucking life. And she repays me by recording me in my house without my knowledge. She sends it to my parents,
She sends it to friends. She sends it to people who are associated with Hive Mind. Yeah, and it's the biggest betrayal I've ever felt. You know, like at that point I was done with her. Like at that point I was like, this is fucked up.
Brad from here goes over his own recollection of what happened August 31st, claiming that he only screamed at Tina because she was being loud while he was deep into his stream.
There's like a clip of me that's like me talking about how I don't feel safe in my home, and then like an hour later I'm in jail. You know? It's crazy. And I don't want to fucking say any of this.
Continuing with the timeline, Brad discusses losing Tina and his ability to collaborate with Hive Mind, as not only were Hive Mind aware of what Brad had done, Tina was dating a roommate of one of the channel's talents. Because of this, Brad pulls out a bottle of Smirnoff, claiming he had this and pills as a last resort, but did not go there. In the middle of his ranting, he loses his train of thought in a bizarre way.
Let's talk about where things start getting good. Look at this picture right here, okay? Now, I'm going to explain this picture later, but this is a bee being, that's dead. It's being carried by an ant. All right? I saw this with my own two eyes in nature. A bee being carried by an ant down a line. All right? Like that was, that's some life-changing stuff. It's weird. It's really symbolic to me.
Brad uses this photo as a symbol of overcoming difficulty. This transitions to talking about reconnecting with his father and traveling to Egypt and Switzerland. These bits do not lead anywhere, but this last story does.
2 months ago, it was pretty much like, I'm enjoying everything else that has to do with music right now that isn't, like, my job. I'm starting to, like, care about it again. And that's because of one thing. My friend Kendall. I would visit him. We would go and watch a movie. And then we would sit at the park, sometimes in my car. We would smoke weed. We would listen to music.
It was here that Brad leaked that he had relapsed back into smoking. This would explain this video and his continued instability. This same day, Brad was dropped from his record label, which appears to only sign those that make meme music. They cite Brad's behavior as the reason for their decision. The following day, Tina tweeted that it might be time for her to deplatform her abuser. Peruko on Twitter was also coming out with information regarding Brad and his arrest. Though in some spaces the arrest was an open secret, this and Brad's video appear to be the majority of the internet's first time hearing about it. Then, on the 26th, Tina started a tweet chain exposing that she has many notes, audio recordings, and screenshots dating back to 2019, but is not sure how much she wants to share. She states she does not want him to hurt himself, and she also does not want him to get into legal trouble. This is also a reason why she has been silent, because she has been hoping he would get better. Overall, she talks about figuring out how to move forward with all this. This possibly scared Brad into uploading a video simply titled 2 on July 27th, which is a direct follow-up to his prior video.
And so the entire thing, comes off as an extreme violation of privacy. And I can completely understand why people are upset, because it is, honestly, I think one of the worst things possibly ever uploaded to the internet. I am fucking ashamed of it. I feel like I failed completely, like, as a person. I am going to disappear for a year and see around this time next year if I'm ready to try again. Because I'm clearly not ready for this, and I am rightfully being called out for honestly just terrible behavior, extremely irresponsible behavior.
Brad's gamble, his guarantee to stay offline, worked. As on the 29th, Tina tweeted, quote, "I've decided that I'm not going to speak publicly on the Brad situation beyond these tweets. I just want to close this chapter and move on with my life. The only thing I want to clarify based on things I've seen being discussed is that he never hit me or physically abused me." Unquote. After this, Tina privately messaged Brad with a screenshot of that tweet, where she adds, "Signing off, I believe in you." With Tina now backing down for posting evidence of Brad screaming at her, Brad went back on his word and created a freestyle inspired by Tina.
Bitch, why you acting so soft? It's like you don't remember what you said in our law. Yeah, I almost got married. Good to know I didn't get carried away.
because of the shit that she would say, just to ruin my fucking day. My God, telling you it's like blackmail on my iPod on repeat, man. She was letting people think that I beat her just so that she can stay out of it. Oh man, I really hope she feels proud of it. Fucking ridiculous, the shit I put up with. Bad bitch, look, getting my nuts kissed. Look, a true story, I was yelling at the bitch. Yeah, what she do for me? But ruined my life, ruining my shit, thinking I'd be her. Wait, no, that she'd be my wife. I was so mad when she stitched to the couch. Man, it took too many years of my life. Thought she would be my wife. Man, this just isn't quite right.
That was about a minute of audio of Brad's 48-minute long freestyle rap. Brad continued to test his audience and Tina. It was on August 5th that he uploaded a video titled My Statement.
I'm going to be bringing up, yes, I am talking about this, I'm going to be bringing up my ex-partner. But I want to make it very clear that everything I am about to say, I have zero intention of saying like, or like trying to victimize myself through what she has done.
Though Brad states he is not going to victimize himself, only a few seconds later he now states that he is a victim of Tina as much as Tina is a victim of him.
And I truly do believe that, like, we are both victims in this situation, like, equally. No, I did not abuse my partner. I have never even had a thought of harming her, like, once in my life. I've never put a finger near her.
Brad goes on to claim that Tina had a strange reaction to his excessive screaming.
And the way that she would handle it is she would feel hurt and scared. And this just kept happening over and over again, where I didn't mean to scare her. You know, she got scared, she starts acting very nervous, and then I'm like questioning why she is.
As for how Brad is a victim of Tina, he claims she has been holding that audio of him screaming as blackmail.
I am accusing my partner of blackmail, and I'm accusing my partner of gaslighting.
Brad claims, later in the video, that Tina was gaslighting him by telling him that he was not living in reality. He is explaining this while he continues to struggle to form a coherent thought.
You know, she just basically told me I'm not living in reality. I'm offended, you know? Anyways, blackmail. So, blackmail is maybe the most painful thing I've ever gone through in my life. Being recorded, like, without my knowledge, like, having a partner constantly remind me that, you know what, let's take a break, and, okay, let me finish my sentence. Wait, what was I talking about? Anyways, let's take a break and talk about, her concerns.
Brad, as the video is closing, states his form of reality is not contested with the people he hangs around with.
This is not a problem around people who are like me. It just happens to be the circle I have. You know, all the people who are around me who are just like tuned differently. You know what I mean?
Brad, not so recently, has exposed that he is friends with a sex offender and another person who received a DUI. This is possibly the circle Brad is tying his reality to.
I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully this clears it up, but knowing the internet probably won't, and I don't really care. Sorry for not keeping up with the 2-year rule.
Brad does not even accurately recall that he said 1 year as his time away from the internet. A channel mod of Brad's shortly took this video down. Everyone has their breaking point, and this video was Tina's.
Full disclosure, I did reach out to Tina because I didn't think that she was aware of the video. She wasn't.
This is from an August 5th stream of the channel The Op Block. In it, Tina is seen typing in chat. Most importantly, Tina had sent over the audio of Brad screaming at her. 2 hours into the stream, Tina gives them permission to premiere the audio.
Tina is allowing me to premiere the audio recordings that she has on Brad.
This audio comes from 2 clips, one of the event and one of the lengthy argumentation building up to it. Because of its contents and length, the entirety will not be played but will be linked in the description. Additionally, this is the timestamp for those that wish to skip it. This is the audio that took place August 29th, 2024, and was the audio that led to Brad's arrest 2 days later.
Literally, while I'm brushing my dogs, I'm just thinking, and you are asking me what I'm thinking about and not letting me not tell you. You are not letting me have privacy in my own.
So foolish.
Like, that's literally what just happened. Like, I'm sitting here brushing my
Alright,
dog.
Tina, I'm gonna fill up a bowl. You do whatever it is you usually do.
So, if
Without being a sarcastic bitch, look at me in the fucking eyes and tell me the truth.
So I have
In the eyes, Tina.
accidentally lied to you before. Well, I have like mistakenly given you.
Tina.
Sorry, I've mistakenly given you incorrect information, and I don't mistakenly giving incorrect information is not lying, and I am certain.
So that's not an example then. Try again. An example where you lied to me.
I don't know that I took the dogs out, and I hadn't yet.
When?
I don't know. Sometime at some point, I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it right now," and then I didn't do it for another half an hour or something.
So you lied to me and you didn't even remember it. You don't even remember
a white
any
lie
details
about the dogs that I took care of.
So it meant nothing to you. Just a little white lie
I
about
don't
the
know.
dogs.
I'm saying I'm
You're
sure
just
that
what?
it's
You're so
happened.
used to throwing white lies at me, you don't even recognize this
No,
one?
that's not true. I just don't.
God, there's so many white lies, Tina.
It's
Okay, Tina, I'm your partner of 5 years, and if you don't respect me as an individual, then you can, honest to God, get the fuck out of my house.
Both of our names are on the lease, so that's not going to happen. And also, you are not
I'm
entitled.
gonna call the police.
Yeah,
I will get you out of here.
Both
I
of-
will make a story up. I will get you out of here,
Both
Tina.
of our names are on the lease, so you will not be doing that. And
I will say my partner has been emotionally abusive, and I have asked her to leave many times. And despite the fact that I have no support system, she has refused to leave and has continued to emotionally abuse me. I need her to get out for at least a day. I need space, and she refuses. Can you please escort my partner somewhere else so that I can have some mental peace?
I'll give you peace if I'm allowed to be quiet. Am I allowed to be quiet, or do I have to share what's going on in my brain?
Wow. So, now that you actually know that you need to be quiet, it's also my fault.
Can I be quiet?
Can you stop blaming me for shit?
Can I be quiet without you prying about what's going on? What I'm thinking.
Can you stop being a horrific partner? Can you look at me in the eyes? Can you treat me like a person? Can you treat me like someone who's at your level and not someone who you can manipulate?
I just want to be able to think quietly while I brush my dogs. I just want to be able to quietly reflect on my life while I brush my dogs without you asking what I'm thinking about and prying it out of me and thinking you're entitled to know what I'm thinking about. You're not.
I'm not even your partner, Tina.
You're not treating me like a partner.
You're looking around looking for excuses, Tina. I literally am watching your body
I
language.
can't look in your
You look like
eyes.
one of those freaks on the fucking interrogation videos.
I can't look in your
Every single thing you're doing is full of shit. You're literally acting like the fucking criminals there, Tina. Like every action. You are a lying, manipulative person.
I have trouble.
And you need to get out of my house.
I have trouble with eye contact. I do.
I am going to call the cops if you don't stop lying to me, Tina.
Brad, they're not gonna. We're both on the lease. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to say my partner is emotionally abusing me, and I've asked for space endlessly, and I have no support system. I moved out here for her, and I'm trapped, and I need space. She has her mother's house. I need help.
My mom is not. You can't push me out of my own house.
You are one of my abusers, so I can damn fucking right do that to you. I can kick you the fuck out of here for what the fuck you've done to me. You've destroyed me.
What? How? All I've ever wanted to do is support
Stop lying to me for once. Look at me in the eyes and stop lying to me. Stop being such a wimp.
All I've ever
Look at me and accept what you have done to me. Do you see what I've become? You've killed me. You promised me everything. You lied to me. Look at me in the fucking eyes and say that again. Look at me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me what the fuck you just said. Tell me. Get out of my house. Get out of my fucking house.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
You're blind. I'm
Don't.
You are evil. Like you're
I don't.
This audio was posted on Brad's community page by a rogue mod. On Twitter, Tina states that audio was a regular part of her daily life for 5 years and is just the tip of the iceberg. Though onlookers and those familiar with Brad's situation were quick to denounce him after listening to that audio, not everyone was in agreement that Tina was the victim.
The guy screaming at her, like, isn't that a really scary situation to be in if you're a woman? It can be, yeah. This woman is clearly not afraid, though. There are no abused women, or there are no, I shouldn't say abused women, because those situations are way different. But there's somebody who's genuinely fearful of their partner, who's like, I'm going to stay here because my name is on the lease, and I have just as much of a right to be here as you do. That's somebody who wants you. When you're saying, I need you to get the fuck out of my apartment, I'm losing my mind. When the woman says, last I checked, my name was on that fucking lease too. What she's actually saying to you, she's saying, hit me, pussy. I bet you won't. I dare you. I double dog dare you. You little punk bitch, little dick motherfucker. I'm gonna go fuck your best friend. I'm gonna fuck your dad and your best friend right now. Hit me, motherfucker. I dare you to That is exactly what they're saying. They're daring you to do it. Don't take the bait.
That was from a clip posted on Twitter. It is a clip of a longer segment of infamous streamer Destiny reacting to the audio Tina recorded. In response to this, Tina replied, "Fork found in kitchen," as Destiny has been known to have the destructive tendencies that Brad has.
So I want to show you this clip. I'm not sure if you've seen it before, but I just want to get your thoughts on it. I just want to get your thoughts on what this is Destiny speaking. I want to get your thoughts on it. First time.
But instead of hitting her,
this is Destiny.
I almost 100% sure everyone would be saying the same shit. He had to leave or he is going to, yeah, of course! Dude, fuck, I wish I would have filmed my shit with Rachel. I wouldn't have any fucking fans today because you guys would probably think I'm a fucking abuser too. Guaranteed, because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times. That shit got crazy. Hell yeah, it did. And I guarantee you that everybody here would probably think I'm a fucking crazy physical abuser too, sure.
So any thoughts on this situation?
Oh my
any thoughts on
God.
this, Tina?
This interview and Destiny's comments on the audio both took place August 8th. 2 days later, Brad uploaded, at the time of this recording, his last video known to date, simply titled Sorry.
This is over now. I have nothing else to say. I want to actually thank Tina for sharing the video.
Brad continues by explaining that he is afraid of Tina because she is smarter than him and that she had a strong foundation, implying she had a good upbringing.
I'm just saying I'm really glad she put out the video, because the idea of I'm being blackmailed, is finally out of my head. And I think that she knew that, because she, again, is really smart. She gets, lots of help mentally. She is very clear-headed. She is in a horrible situation right now. She can't catch a break. And I hate that I'm contributing to that.
I've calmed down a little bit and I've returned, and she has every right to feel as hurt as she does, and the internet has every right to be as pissed off at me as they are. I will do better. Goodbye.
The same day that Brad uploaded this video, a GoFundMe for Tina was created by a friend of Tina's, claiming that the funding would be used to cover the cost of moving, to getting back to work, and to build a small financial cushion. Since July of 2024, it was clear that something was deeply wrong with Brad. As such, he has been mostly bleeding subscribers and support since then. He has not only shown himself to be a manipulative figure, one willing to lie to police, he has outright stated he was. This was in contrast to the happy-go-lucky music reviewer that was earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. BradTaste effectively used his success, his money to fuel his addictions, which allegedly included gambling. He also allegedly burned money on strip clubs and where he would cheat on his partner, a partner who he paid to keep his business running. Through all this, Brad was using his channel, his success, to live in utter irresponsibility to the extent it led to his self-destruction and inevitable implosion. This is yet another case of a creator who was not built to be famous, and not built to handle a relationship or even himself.